another podcast by the Burning Donuts. Known on police record as a brony slash anther artist, the Burning Donut is really Aaron Ring, his dual identity known by anyone who checks out his online galleries. And now, to protect freedom of speech and to produce some kick-ass artwork, rides the Burning Donut.
Accusing you of stealing.
All right, so the next episode is Fluttershy leans in.
This was like just mediocre to me. Like it was serviceable, and it was all right. Like, you know, again, like the story is fine. Everything made sense to me, but like it just
wasn't.
It seemed like it was just so typical. It was too typical to real life that it was boring.
You know what's interesting though? This was actually one of the episodes. This episode was written by one of the writers, who is still like
Barrow, yeah.
Like she loves the show. GM Barrow is a fan of the show. Yeah, and you'd think she'd write something great. She's the one who writes the books. By the way.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, the fact that they actually like. It like I said, it's not a bad episode. It's not a great episode. It's just like
it's just milk toast. It's just in the middle. It's just kind of like, but you know what's interesting about it though, when I watched it, I noticed that like when everyone's at Fluttershy's cottage, and they're like talking, they're like expositing and talking about what they're gonna do or whatever, like. If you look back at earlier seasons, when this kind of shit happened, when they were all together and like interacting, it was really dynamic. Like it wasn't just them standing around talking about shit and drinking tea. It was like they'd all be in Twilight's house or something, right? And then like in the background, Rainbow Dash and Applejack would be doing something, and then Rarity and someone else would be doing something, and shit would go on, and Rainbow Dash would crash through the building, or like what I'm trying to say is like the scene was dynamic and it felt very alive. Yeah. Right. And it seems like, especially in recent seasons, like they just don't put the effort into doing that anymore. They're like, well, let's just have them stand around because, they probably do that. And it's like, yeah, but that's just kind of boring. Right. It's like anime, right? A lot of anime is just. We really. It's a problem in anime where the characters just stand around and talk about shit, and it's like it would be all right if what they were talking about was really interesting or something, but it's just not. Like it's just kind of.
Well, wasn't there like an episode from like season 6 or 4 or something where they were all like trying to make Twilight's castle into something that they thought Twilight wanted?
That was season 5. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just basically kind of like a recap of that episode, but it was like Fluttershy's thing instead. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and the whole idea of hiring these contractors, like Fluttershy goes to her friends for help. And instead of helping her, like all of her friends decide, hey, we're going to redirect you to these other people who will help you. And that struck me as like being really odd because they've never before done that. And then to have these contractors come in and Fluttershy tells them exactly what she wants. And then they just totally ignore her and give her what they want to give her. It seemed like something that we've heard before, and it just felt really old. And
what's really weird about it, too, is like you would think that Rarity would have like sufficient knowledge to decorate your place. Yeah. And you would think that like Applejack would have sufficient knowledge to build the place. Like, it's just very weird. It's like, do you really need these contractors?
It's like this could have been a really cool episode of like the main 6 interacting, but they decided, let's not do that.
Well, it could have been the same conflict, but with her friends, and that would have made it like more dramatic, right? Yeah. And by extension interesting because it's her friends, right? It's not just these random horses who we don't know and don't give a shit about. Right, like the stakes in terms of the interaction of the relationship are really low, right? Then because it's like, fuck them, who cares, right? But if it's like Applejack, it's like, oh shit, like they've been friends for so long, and oh my god, I hope the relationship isn't like you care more about it. So it's just weird. It's like okay, but it is good insofar as like it's a good like showing of Fluttershy's progression as a character thus far. I think, like in terms of her wider arc, like she's more, assertive, and she's more, willing to stand her ground, and it's just an affirmation of that, which we've kind of already had that. So it's a little bit samey, but I mean, it's a positive, I guess, in some regards. So that's cool, but yeah, it's like, I don't know, like when I talk to contractors and have issues with them, I just don't find that entertaining. Like,
no professional is going to be like, oh, we're not going to do what they want. We're just going to do what we.
That was a little weird, wasn't it?
Well, actually, I've worked with some contractors who do that.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like generally they don't.
Not general contractors,
right,
but I'm talking like technical people who do technology shit. I guess it's a little easier to like fudge that shit than like a building.
Well, I mean, I suppose because like I know stuff about cars, and some guy comes up to me and says, "Hey, I want a car with like the biggest, most gigantic engine possible," and it's like, well, you know what? I'm just going to give you something with a good power to weight ratio, so you don't kill yourself.
I want a Prius.
I guess it does kind of make sense.
Or very much like a Prius.
Yeah, fuck you.
It's just the It's almost like the contractors were not willing to come to a compromise, which is what would normally happen. There would be some kind of like negotiation. It was more like Fluttershy was making these demands, and then they would just be like, they would either be like, yeah, okay, and lie to her, and then do something completely against what she wanted, or they would just straight up tell her like, no, you're dumb, we're doing it this way. And it's like, I don't know, like that's usually not how it goes, right?
You know, it almost gives you a feeling like the contractors are supposed to be like representative of the show staff, and that's what they're doing wrong.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I like that. That's good. That's good. Yeah, so it's whatever, meh. Yeah. Let's move on.
All right. So the next episode.
Did Louis have anything to say?
Oh,
honestly, I had no opinion on this episode since I kind of watched it at BabsCon on the big screen. It was all right.
Oh yeah, that must be weird to watch. Like
watching it in a collective with a bunch of bronies makes it interesting, I guess.
Wait, you watched this at BabsCon?
No, I watched it at Ever Free Northwest.
Ever Free Northwest, yeah.
Speaking of kind of mediocre, I felt the same way about the next one, Forever Philly.
The next episode was Forever Philly.
What the hell was that one about?
Which one was that?
That was the one that. See, it should have been one I really liked because it was a Fluttershy and Sweetie Belle episode.
Wait,
Sweetie Belle and Rarity.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sweetie Belle and Rarity. What the fuck is wrong with me? Holy shit!
You're a brony. That's what's wrong.
That is true. That is a problem.
Yes, that is a. Yeah, but seriously, it's a Rarity and Sweetie Belle episode. I should have thought this was like the.
They're usually all awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, normally, yeah.
I know. Yeah,
this was like,
Yeah,
it was. What happened on it? I still don't remember what happened.
So, Sweetie Belle is growing up, and Rarity is still treating her like a child.
Oh,
right, you remember that?
Yeah. And then it's even stupider because like the Cutie Mark Crusaders have a subplot going on that is like
with the dog,
that is like literally the exact same plot with the dog.
Yeah.
The exact same.
It's like, hey guys, look at the parallel. Look at the parallel. Yeah, no shit. Thanks.
Yeah.
Wait, was that the OC with like the Speedy Gonzales like Mexican voice? Like, mi perro no es good.
No, it's supposed to be Hungarian or something.
Really? Because that sounded like horribly racist.
No. Okay. Because if you've ever like heard Zsa Zsa Gabor talk, for instance.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah. The accent is very similar. Personally, I think it kind of sounds adorable, but yeah.
It didn't sound like that type of accent. It sounded like some sort of Hispanic accent. It was kind of uncomfortable.
My theory is that it's supposed to be Hungarian. I could be totally wrong. I don't know, but
what was this one called? Like Fluttershy?
It was called Forever Philly. It was like. If you've ever read the My Little Pony comics, there was like an episode where the Flim Flam brothers like made an appearance, and they had a girl they were fighting over, and Granny Smith and the thing was is that like there was a girl they were fighting over, and they were split apart because of it, and Granny Smith felt compelled to help them out.
Oh, cool.
But it was mainly because the exact same thing happened to her, where there were two brothers that were like they're fighting each other, and she didn't want the same thing to happen, so she helped them prevent the whole thing from. And it's like just the concept of saying
that sounds way more interesting than this fucking episode.
It really kind of was.
Yeah,
no, it was still a terribly written issue.
Oh, sure. Well, the comics are generally pretty shit from what I've heard.
I'm pretty sure. Never mind.
What?
I'm still doing more. Yeah, here it is.
No, Corp. Let's not talk about Forever Philly. Let's talk about
Forever Philly.
No, stop.
Zipper Will speaks with the Latin American accent.
Yeah, I didn't.
Latin American?
Yes, it's supposed to be a Hispanic accent, and it is really like fake and like really out there. And I'm like, wow.
Should I feel offended?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, because like it doesn't sound Hispanic at all.
I didn't watch this episode, so I don't have judgment.
Like, okay. This much. What's odd here is
play with my puppy.
It's kind of quirky and just odd, but like okay. So the point of the parallel, right? The point of the dog is so that Rarity can realize the error of her ways, right? Like that's the primary point of it. Right?
It just so happened that the exact same concept was going on with another group.
Yeah, there's a few things here that are really weird. Okay, so there's that, and then there's this problem I have with it, which is like, okay, so you're basically telling me the same story side by side, and what you're proposing is that, like, okay, so the way you're presenting this is like. So what do you think I would rather listen to, right, and watch? Do you rather think I would listen to this? Do you think that I would rather listen and watch this story told from Sweetie Belle and Rarity, or the CMC and this random character and their dog? Like what? Like obviously, I just want to hear it through Rarity and Sweetie Belle, right? I have no interest in this dog or this other character. So
but the thing is, the characters were written so stupidly. Without the parallel, they would have never got it.
Oh yeah, well, there's this too. Like Rarity being so not able to notice what's going on is a little bit weird. But like it, I don't know, man. Like no, part of me is like, well, like the point is that it's a cartoon and they have to exaggerate it. Well, they don't have to exaggerate it, and they really shouldn't. But that's why they did it. But it's still dumb because like it's Rarity. Like, how old are you? How much life experience do you have? Are you really that blinded by your desire for your little sister to still be your little sister? Like, it's just really hyperbolic.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's weird. Like
it just like came off as this weird kind of thing where they just shoved a bunch of shit into a story, and they were like, "Oh, here we go. Hey, what would be funny to have Rarity be all like, oh, Sweetie Belle, you're my little sister, yay!" And it's like it just doesn't come together very well. And this,
I think it would have been better. Instead of having this parallel, like I think the better way to do this would have been to have Rarity come to the realization herself through like a progression of her more and more absurd behavior and denial of what was actually happening.
And then have that be shown as Sweetie Belle acts mature while working with random plots and stuff.
Sure, like shit is going on, and she's like literally demonstrating this in a progression that's more and more obvious, right? And that makes Rarity look more and more retarded and insane, like to the point where she can't possibly deny it anymore. And that's where and then that maybe culminates into a problem between the sisters, like a big conflict that she maybe regrets, and then it has to come together. She has to go apologize, some dumb bullshit like that. I think that something like that would have probably been not only more interesting, but more effective,
made a bit more sense.
And Rarity's behavior would have then might not have made more sense, but I think it would have. At least she would have gotten it in the end through her own. Like realization, not like having to hear somebody else say what was happening overhear it and go, "Oh, I guess I was
that's
doing
going
that."
wrong.
Right? Like, "Oh yeah, no shit. You fucking like, come on." You know?
Yeah, no. That was
Yeah.
This was like one of the dumber episodes of the
Yeah,
season.
it was just
and
boring.
And the fact it was not only a rarity episode, but also a rarity plus a Sweetie Pie episode should have been amazing. You fucking idiots.
They're all really good. Like Sister Who's Social's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and,
Sister Who's Socials, and then For Who the Sweetie Belle Tolls and stuff like that. Those are all really good episodes. And then there was this.
Yeah, this is shit. 0 out of 10. I hate it.
I give it a 0 out of 22.
Nice.
It was very shit. I agree.
I give it a null set.
I give it an infinity out of infinity.
So what's next? I really have to like urinate myself
because I haven't seen the episode, so I have no opinion.
Maybe we should take a bit of a break, go grab a drink, go take a piss, and then we will continue.
Yeah.
Well, what are we gonna do for the
5 minutes? 5 minutes.
The next episode is parental guidance.
Okay.
Parental guidance.
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 Oh, it is
Rainbow Dash's parents. Oh,
yeah, I just watched that. I just watched that before coming to the podcast.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
what are you skipping? Like, how are you not watching the season in chronological order, Louis? Are you just all over the place?
Yes. Blame my girlfriend for that because she made me watch the Applejack's parents episode before I could finish any other episode.
That's a really good episode, though.
That is awesome.
It is, though.
Yeah, I admit it is a pretty good episode, but we're not at that yet.
All right.
I know. Okay. 5 minute break, everybody. Whoever's still here, entertain the chat. I guess take chat questions or something. Whatever.
Chat questions? Okay, fine. We can take chat questions.
There's a chat.
Do you have the stream open, guys?
I have the stream open.
Hold on. Someone needs to give me a link to it so I can.
It's in the chat.
If you guys, you guys in the chat, if you want to talk about episodes or some shit or whatever, we'll hang out.
It's in the group in the Discord chat. Come on.
Okay.
All right, I need to get off the floor. I got tired of sitting on a chair, so I moved to the floor.
Okay, I'm gonna be right back too.
All right. Yeah.
I put some music on in the background so we don't have complete dead air if like everyone leaves.
I'm looking at the questions here. Let's see what we got here.
I have no question. Do you like princesses? I don't think that was for us.
I just want rarity in my salad. What? Backs up. I ain't being eaten. Puts hoof on face. Ugh. Hi, Pinkie Pie.
What are you reading?
The chat log.
Are you on the recent?
Why are you guys such shit? Why are
Hey, Faith, what's up?
Because we don't know what's going on.
Because I am the leader this time.
Yeah, we're shit today because Louis is in charge. So, blame it on Louis.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
Yes, Faith, he's indeed drunk. He is very drunk.
Yes, Faith, I'm drunk again. I drank a whole gallon of alcohol. 100% alcohol.
How do you misspell the word shit?
Sheer.
Oh, God.
I'm
Princess Luna's daughter. Well, I call you delusional, but okay, sure.
I might have ruined a little bit of part of the podcast as I was trying to look at a scene from the episode and actually played sound from the episode.
I'm fucking in before content ID, in before channel shut down.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Louis ruined our fucking channel, guys. Holy shit.
What did you do?
I'm not the one live streaming.
What happened?
Oh, we have 21 watchers. Nice.
Hello?
Are you hi Corp? Are you excited?
Are you
nothing?
The new Equestria Girl shorts?
Not at all. Equestria Girls sucks, dude.
If it's done right, it can be okay.
Wait, there's shorts
coming out? That's not true for like anything.
Anybody excited for the movie?
I am.
Oh, absolutely.
To see Milo Pony in like any. To me, that's like fucking amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you gonna watch the premiere with me, Donut?
Sure. Yeah. Well, whenever it is, I'll fucking do it.
Am I invited?
Yeah. Just don't bring drugs this time.
Dude, I can't
Thanks.
wait for the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic movie to come out.
I have a feeling that the plot is going to be absolutely predictable and stupid, but the animation is just going to be like so amazing. I'm just going to sit there and be like, oh.
Corp, I know you're really excited about Capper the Furry. He's a character
No,
you're
I'm
really
not.
looking forward to getting to know, aren't you?
No, I'm not excited about the furry invasion of My Little Pony.
Wait, what?
You don't know about Capper, Louis? Come on, the cat guy, the cat.
Oh,
yeah.
The suave, cool guy, ladies
Who's he
man,
voiced by?
cat character. Ty Diggs, I think.
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
It's like they're getting like so
Voiced
many.
by a black man, so you know.
No. The thing is, they won't fix the shit. They won't fix the shit CGI. The problem is
I don't know about that actually, like because that was just a trailer, right? So
yeah.
I don't know what the final product's gonna be.
Okay, like the thing is, when I look at it, it reminds me so much of like the animation for Lullaby for a Princess and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like
But that was
like,
good though.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah,
but it's
like,
almost
it was
like the movie studio came up to the animators who did that and were like, "Hey, you guys need a job?" And they were like, "Okay." I mean, I would do the same thing. Don't get me wrong.
Looks like shit.
Original animation.
Zero out of 10 would bomb again.
Okay, let's get back to
All right.
the show.
Great question, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody asked any good questions, so of course.
All right.
Welcome to the fucking chat. Parental guidance.
Parental guidance. Holy Crush has had a weird start, but I enjoyed it at the end.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I still don't know how I feel about this episode.
Okay, I don't like it.
I don't like the beginning, but I like it towards the end.
No, okay, all right. Okay, so Rainbow Dash's character is that she likes attention, right? She likes to get attention and positive reinforcement and everything like that. The reason people form personalities like that is because they live a lifestyle where they don't get that kind of positive reinforcement. Yeah. And then they basically try to convince us all that she lives her entire life basically receiving that kind of positive reinforcement all the fucking time to the point it drove her nuts.
Yeah.
And
it's the entire idea. Not only
actually,
that,
it's not known what causes like narcissism and shit. So
no.
Like...
My point is that most of the time when you encounter this attitude, it's because people lived in environments where they don't receive like lots of positive reinforcement, and then they expect us to believe that Rainbow Dash developed a personality where she desires positive reinforcement.
Well, I mean, hold on. There's a problem with what you're saying, Rick, because you're saying most of the time, which would imply that there are instances where that would not apply and the result would still occur, right? So
no, I know, because
right.
I'm sure that at some point there are times where that kind of thing happens where it doesn't like match perfectly to perfectly to that narrative or whatever. But it's like, for the most part, when you have celebrities or you have people who develop that kind of personality, it's generally because they either A, didn't receive that type of positive reinforcement, or B, are just selfish assholes.
Here's something interesting. Well, hold on, Corp. Before I'm sorry for interrupting you, but the causes of like narcissism aren't well understood. However, inherited genetic defects are thought to be responsible, but also contributing environmental factors may include childhood abuse or neglect. So could you construe the way Rainbow Dash's parents treated her as abusive?
No.
Maybe.
Abusive, yeah, but definitely not neglect.
Yeah.
Yeah, not neglect.
Well, it's abuse, childhood abuse or neglect is what they're claiming.
I wouldn't say like the way that they were treating Rainbow Dash wouldn't create Rainbow Dash. What that would normally create in most people, obviously,
is the opposite.
There's not 100%. Yeah. Well, what you'd get is you'd get someone who would expect to constantly be told how awesome. This is more of a narcissist, by the way.
Yeah.
They would expect everyone to tell them how awesome they are. And if you didn't tell them how awesome they were, they'd get mad at you. They'd be spoiled assholes, and they'd expect everything of the world around them. And if they didn't get what they wanted, they'd throw little hissy fits. That's not Rainbow Dash.
No.
So yeah, her parents do not describe what she became, because I don't even think Rainbow Dash is necessarily narcissistic as we consider it. I mean, she thinks a lot of herself, but she's not a narcissist.
But there's a difference.
Yeah. Maybe I should say like there's like, in some sense, this. Yeah, I don't mean like narcissistic. I mean like there's this kind of, it's like along that paradigm or whatever. Like exactly. Like there's
high idea of herself, but at the same time, if someone comes along and doesn't give her what she wants, her reaction isn't to say, well, fuck you, you got to give me what I want. Her reaction is to say, I'm gonna prove to you I deserve that. And
Right.
she's gonna go out of her way to win the race.
Right. It's more like this confidence or something.
And this is like another example of the just kind of making up their own shit without doing a lot of research, because it doesn't make sense to me. Like the entire concept, I have like thought so hard about this, because it's like they honestly expect you to believe that a person who grew up literally receiving more attention than they could ever want grew up desiring attention, and it's just like I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like it could still occur. Like, I feel like the combination in which it's presented, it's still a possibility.
Yeah.
Because there's other factors that also determine how people turn out, right? And a lot of them are genetic. I mean, but then you could also make the argument that, well, you know, this is My Little Pony and not the real world. So, you know, to make such an argument is based entirely in the idea that the assumption that, you know, the way the ponies are would, but you know, I mean, we can go down that rabbit hole, but I don't know, maybe it doesn't bother me too much. But I can definitely see how it's just not well, I guess, like defined and like you know what I mean, like when presented, like presentation wise, it's a little bit weird and inconsistent, you could say. So I know what you're saying. I definitely get it. Like I totally see it. So
it just, to me, it just
And then, like, towards the end of the episode, I really hated, and I know Sheldon said he originally did but changed his mind, I really hated the ending and the way that Scootaloo's all like, well, you know, here your parents are being like horrible to you by promoting you and everything, but you know, some of us, here's the reference to, oh, Scootaloo doesn't have parents, which has never been anyway. And oh well, you know, this little sob story, haha, Rainbow Dash, at least you have parents.
Yeah.
And then Rainbow Dash turns 180 degrees and starts bending over backwards to give her parents what they want when they're the ones who are in the wrong.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I actually no. Like my problem with it was like there's like this weird deflection of the issue, right? Where initially it's about Rainbow Dash's parents like clearly going overboard and stepping across a boundary that nobody would find acceptable, like rightfully so, right? Initially, it's because it goes from like being about being over supportive to, oh, you should just appreciate having support, and it's like that wasn't the problem. The problem wasn't that they were supportive; it's that they're being over supportive, and they just kind of drop it in the middle, and they change direction dramatically, and it's like, why? That was never the problem, right? That was never the issue.
Well. Remember, in the Twilight and the Flurry Heart episode, there was kind of the same thing that happened, where there was like this whole Twilight was having to deal with the struggle of like dealing with a child and dealing with like the whole thing, and then at the end, rather than having to form any form of compromise, she's just 100% apologizing to the child, saying, "Hey, I fucked up here. It's totally my fault."
Yeah, but you can't.
And this
No,
is the exact same thing.
No, because you can't. It's different though, because the child is like a baby.
Yeah.
So how much culpability can you put on the baby? Right? Like you can't really, right? It's a baby. But here it's like it's just such a weird 180, like Corp said, this change in direction that just seems completely unwarranted, and it doesn't really address the issue. Like they try to address the issue with having her like do the air thing and apologize, and then the parents saying like, oh yeah, maybe that was a bit over the top. They try to close that thread, and it's really embarrassing. And it's really like bitch ass kind of way where they don't really address the problem. Right, and it's just weird. It's like why couldn't we have explored the problem of over support? Why couldn't we make it about that, how we opened, right? Why does it have to do this weird change of direction? I don't know. It just seems not very cohesive and well put together in that regard.
It didn't. It's weird. It definitely did not come together in a way that made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, it was odd. And her parents are literally insane. They're fucking crazy, and they should be condemned for the way they behave. Like nobody thinks that's okay. Nobody. It's completely. They're literally deranged. Like they're literally deranged.
They're keeping a diaper that their child wore for her first words.
Yes.
Does that not bother anybody?
There's clearly some problem, and I have a hard time believing that any culpability can be put on Rainbow Dash for this. I'm sorry.
Like the fact that they're wearing T-shirts with their daughter's cutie marks.
Well, I think the excuse there was that it's laundry day or some shit. Sure thing, buddy.
Well, it's laundry day, but is it not?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
and the guilt trip thing too. Like, man, Corp, you're right though. Like the guilt trip thing, and it's come on. Like, really? Are we really doing this? Like,
one of the great things though that did come out of this episode was all of the porn and the clot fix that erupted because of Rainbow Dash's parents and the way they act. Because you take that to the next logical level. Rainbow Dash's mom. She's got it going on. But you take that to the next level. It's like, okay, well, what would Rainbow Dash's mom do the first time Rainbow clopped herself, or the first time she brought a stallion home? They'd probably be in the closet waving a flag, yeah, good job, Dash.
It's like we all know. Yeah. We all know Rainbow Dash never brought a stallion home. Come on.
Well, or Mare,
There you go. That's more.
And they'd be sitting there in the corner, be like, yeah, Rainbow, screw society's you screw society's norms. Yeah.
Yeah. Grab that clit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grab the clit.
Yeah, dude.
Lick that thing.
Oh my God. You've identified the only good thing about this episode.
It basically, yeah.
What happened to family friendly, guys?
First time
I do like
Rainbow Dash get together. Yeah, you eat that veg, yeah.
I do like their designs though, like we were saying. They're nice. They're good. They make sense, and
they actually do look. They do honestly look like what you would imagine Rainbow Dash's parents look
absolutely.
like.
Absolutely. And I also liked how it kind of went into Rainbow Dash wasn't always good, right? She was shit. And I do like this idea of my parents did support me, and that did, encourage me. And, I like that. I like the idea is fine. Like, it's nice and it's sweet and all, but just the execution is just very strange. Mm-hmm. Like, if they were going to do that kind of story, they should have just they should have set up the conflict in a way that would that actually makes sense in that direction, instead of doing this weird heel turn or whatever. It's just weird. It's very odd. Yeah. But it's shit. 0 out of 10. I hated it. Next episode, Louis, do you have anything to say?
Rainbow Dash's mom is hot, and I came for her.
I don't. Well,
Nice.
okay.
Next episode, hard to say anything.
So no.
Oh.
Well, according to the thing I have, the next episode is Honest Apple.
Honest Apple is episode 9.
Hard to say anything. Yeah, it's hard to say anything.
All right. That was the one
with Big Mac and the Pie Pony.
Oh God, this episode
Wait, what?
sucked. Did you see this one, Donut? Where?
Yeah. I did, but it was called. I thought it was called Honest Apple.
No, that's the Applejack.
That's the
rarity
fashion
one.
show. Applejack.
The fashion
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, can't tell your apples apart, buddy.
The title's wrong on my app here because it says the CMC's figure out Big Mac as his first crush. Yeah.
You can't tell your apples apart, man. That's racist.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is when basically Big Mac is macking on.
Yeah, on Sugar Bell.
Sugar Bell.
Yeah. Sugar Bell.
This episode is fucking shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like seriously, this was.
This is bad. Like this was not good.
As
I'm like rewatching it, I'm like skipping forward like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, like.
My favorite character, it was that hot guy character.
No, I hated that guy.
He was my favorite.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the point of that character was to make guys like me hate him.
Well, guess what? Though my girlfriend likes him and wants me to like find some like merch of him at BronyCon.
Oh, what?
Yep. She's like, oh wow, he's like my second.
All women like the Biebs Corp. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I found it funny that they like constantly had that they had Scootaloo mention about how great his hair was, but like we all know Scootaloo doesn't like guys anyway. So like what the fuck?
Wait, what? Hey, what's with you and all these lesbian shit? Stop it.
You mean what's with every brony and the lesbian? That's what you fucking mean?
Yeah.
But,
All the
okay.
horses are lesbian or bi.
Yeah, that's canon. So okay, let's talk about this guy. What's his name, by the way?
It was like Feathermane or something like that.
Featherbang, yeah.
Featherbang. Yeah, all the sexual references in this episode.
Oh yeah. That's
Featherbangs.
I don't think bangs was sexual.
It was funny because
there's a cream pie reference.
Yeah.
Oh God, is that what the pie reference was?
Yeah, there was a cream pie.
There's tons of innuendo in here. Like
this episode was full of them.
Oh yeah.
Shit,
like,
I never even thought
it's
of that.
crazy. Yeah.
Really, man? You didn't think about it? That's hard to believe.
I was wondering. It was like, cream pie. I guess they kind of pulled that out. Okay. And then now that you say it like that, oh sure, it makes sense. I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so Featherbangs. So it's really odd because the way he's used in the episode as a, I guess, like a plot device.
Yeah, that's really the only.
Well, the problem I don't have a problem that he's a plot device. I have a problem with the way he's portrayed as a character in the world, right? So
yeah.
So, what ends up happening is that there's like an instance where Big Mac can do something to further his relationship with Sugar Bell, and then this guy just intrudes in the way, right? He gets in Big Mac's way, and the way in which he gets in Big Mac's way is so cartoonishly absurd every single time that I can't even believe that this is a character in the world acting out and existing. Like Big Mac will go to say something, and this guy will just cartoonishly zoom in,
just like appear there with the exact same idea and do it better than Big Mac.
Right, and the way, in other words, what I'm trying to say is the way he's portrayed is so unlike any other character.
Yeah.
That it's just unrealistic because there's nobody else who acts like this in the world. No, not even remotely similar, right? It's so far outside of the parameters of how the social landscape seems to me to function in this world that it's just drawing so much attention to how absurd and unrealistic it is. Like it's just fucking stupid.
I have to admit, my first thought when I saw him was, so what you're trying to tell me is that there's a Justin Bieber wannabe who lives in this middle of nowhere town, and he just happens to be so Justin Bieber like in this podunk town, and what?
I love your focus on this. How he happens to be so Justin Bieber like you hate Justin Bieber so much that this is unacceptable. This is just not permissible in any way.
Like that was the point of this character, to just kind of be like the thing that men hate,
and like the perfect the sensationalized sexy boy that all the girls like, right?
It just like that perfect little boy band singing little fucking
right.
I remember seeing somebody like post pictures of him on Twitter being like, I hate this fuck boy.
It just draws so much attention to the fact that this was a character created for this explicit reason, and it doesn't feel natural. Like, that's the biggest problem with him. And it's, for me anyways, and it's like, this is dumb. This is fucking...
Then, at the end of the episode, because like the whole thing we all hated was the fact that he was so good with women, and then all of a sudden he's all like, oh, well, I can't talk to no women. And
I like that, though, what? Because it kind of humanizes him in a way. Like he's like, he's so shit through most of the episode, but then at the end it's like, well, this is better, but why couldn't he have just been more realistic from the beginning? You know, like surely you could have written this in a way that was still just as effective in terms of the conflict, and not made him, and not drawn such attention to how unrealistic he is. Like, it's I don't know, it's just so fucking weird. And I think it was, the point was comedy. The point was it's supposed to be kind of funny, but I wasn't laughing. I didn't find it funny. I just thought it was really fucking dumb. You know,
I just remember, like, as I'm watching them last night for this podcast, I just remember being like, oh my God, this is worse than I remember it. It was, and especially when they start breaking out in the song and they're like trying to sing over each other and the lyrics are just getting dumber and dumber. It's all like,
hey, I had a giggle or two at that song though.
Yeah, you know what I didn't like about the song though, and this has nothing to do with the narrative, but just the song itself. I just thought the song was shit.
Oh yeah, no,
and I hate the idea that the talent of Daniel Ingram is being wasted on this shit song, because I like Daniel Ingram songs as songs usually. I like the music, right? And I just didn't like this song, so I was not sufficiently entertained and annoyed by that.
Yeah, no. This was a very hard episode to watch.
And I don't know if I have a problem with like the CMC and Big Mac and everyone. Like, it seemed fine. Like, it seemed like that would happen.
Yeah.
But you know, like, I don't know. It's just very odd. And I like it. It's kind of like the table thing was nice. The way they set up the table.
Oh no. The conclusion of the episode was pretty nice. The way
it was,
because like the entire thing was that like she was getting pissed off that they didn't know or understand her. Everything like that.
Right.
And then Big Mac is just like, I'm gonna fuck it. I'll fix this mess we made. I'll make a mess. And she absolutely loved it. And to me, that made sense.
It did, and it's great because like it makes sense because he listened to her. And he actually gave a shit about something she wanted and needed, right? And could use help with, and she appreciated. Like, it's just really nice and good. Like, that's probably how it might happen. You know, like, that makes perfect sense. That's great.
Oh yeah,
it's
totally.
Really sweet.
Like so many cartoons are all like, oh, well, get the girl if you just be yourself. And this was a much better version of that moral.
I completely agree with that. Yeah, totally. Yeah, like, but you know what sucks about the episode? The best parts of it are just right at the end, like it in the later half of the third act, and it's like that's mostly what I liked. And then you know, if you take the entirety of the episode and you condense it down to the parts I liked and disliked, the vast majority is just innocuous shit I didn't like.
Yeah,
right. That was getting to the part that I liked, and that's, you know, I don't think I can call it good based on that. Like, it's just not good. No, like, if I felt like my time was mostly wasted, so. You know.
All right. Anyone else have perspectives on this episode?
Corp, you have anything else to say, Louis?
Nope. Nah, it was okay. It was just whatever.
I didn't watch this one either.
See, I was actually really excited about this episode because I was under the impression, somebody told me that, and I believed them like a stupid, like, you know, whatever.
Was it Scope? Did Scope tell you this?
I believed that this episode would include that Big Mac would be moving away from Ponyville and we'd never see him again. And what's his face was going to be out of a job forever. And I'd be like, or at least on the Pony
Peter
show.
knew.
And I was like,
yeah.
really excited. I was like, wow, this is actually
Because
interesting.
Just get that guy out of the cast.
Yeah, because he's such an SJW cuck, right? That's
Yeah, there's like one point I made a mistake of like responding to a tweet he did. My phone was like blowing up. For
I know.
2 days.
I've done that too.
Holy shit!
Yeah. He was making some kind of dumb comment, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but I basically refuted his claim by making an analogy to smothering people with pillows.
Yeah.
And his fans did not like that. Like for days, I had like 30 notifications of people just shitting on me.
Oh, dude, like there's like one day joke about banning all guns, and I was like, oh, so that, and I just like responded to that. My phone would not stop exploding. It was just like, holy shit.
And then he does this dumb thing where he'll make his opinion public, and then if you debate him, he'll just tell you to stop debating with him or block you. And it's like, what did you think was going to happen? Right? Like, of course people are going to respond and want to argue with you over this, right? Like, fuck off, dude. Like, holy shit.
No, I know. But
yeah, but anyways, yeah.
The next episode is a royal problem.
No, it's Honest Apple. What are you talking about?
Honest Apple.
Yeah, the Applejack rarity one.
Oh, it wasn't
Honest Apple, then it's the royal problem, then it's
Hold on.
other stuff, and then I'm dead inside.
Are you on the wiki, Donut?
I'm on. I thought I was.
I'm looking at Yay Ponies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Here, I'll send the link I'm using.
I just had it open, that's why I'm using it.
Let's see here.
The Wikia is much like.
What I'm using was just like the Google thing. It like.
I mean, the Wikia is what the show writers use, right? I mean, that's what.
Yeah.
But this is like just the Wikipedia entry, not the MLP wiki. But but you know, I mean, it's accurate. So. Yeah. So Honest Apple.
Honest Apple. Applejack's honest. That's the end of the story.
I fucking liked this episode, dude. I thought it was good.
It was. It was one of those. I had a feeling that they kind of had one thing they were going for, but it like kind of got PR grouped up into this weird thing that didn't make a lot of sense.
What exactly?
Okay. The concept was is that like Applejack would be a judge for a fashion show,
right?
And it just kind of came together as this like Applejack kind of being a dick to everybody, and it's like,
well, the idea of Applejack judging the fashion show is obviously the thing to get the conflict going. Like that's the setup to the conflict where, But
I mean, to me, it just came together as like. I have to admit, though, I like the scene where they found the pony that likes that likes strawberries, and then it's just
god,
no, that particular part of the episode was so awesome.
Oh, it's my favorite part too. Yeah,
it's like, well, I can't believe you don't like apples. Oh, I'm sorry, you eat those worm-filled, tasteless things.
Apples. just the like superiority smugness of it is just incredible. It's so fucking funny.
You're talking about Strawberry Sunrise, right? I mean, she's one of the best Pegasuses on that show, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry. It was just like that reaction. I'm sorry. You eat those things? Ugh.
Just how much she does not give a fuck is amazing. It's just no filter. Don't care. You're a faggot.
And it was just like Rarity knew that she would be like the perfect person to have like Applejack talk to. It was just like, oh, hello, let me just introduce you to my friend here. And it's like, And then like Applejack, just like her reaction to like the whole thing was just so fucking
Now,
over
when
the
we-
top and priceless.
When we did the podcast on EQN, somebody brought up a point that I really liked and agreed with that I didn't think of that was really dumb, and I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But fuck, I don't know if you remember, Corp. It might have been you.
What was it about?
It was something about this episode, and that was dumb about it. And I think it had to do with something about the reason why Rarity would consider Applejack being a.
Oh, that would have been Owen. You two were going kind of autistic on that.
We were, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think my initial opinion was like, it made sense, and I could see. Oh yeah, we were arguing about. I think we were getting into semantics over practical or something like, because Rarity's whole thing is that like, well, you know, Applejack is like really pragmatic, right? She's like utilitarian.
Yeah.
She's like, you know. And she would you know be a good okay, so I think I remember the problem is that like surely Rarity's like, okay, so she makes dresses, right, and so do these other people. So the idea is that, well, if you make dresses for fashion shows, surely you know enough about practicality as to where like the dress would be wearable. And surely the point of a fashion show is not necessarily utilitarianism, but an artistic expression.
Have you ever seen an actual fashion show?
Yes.
I mean, these things I have watched like just out of sheer morbid curiosity, and have just ended up like staring in like absolute aghastness at some of the things that they
but Donut, that's the point of a fashion show, right?
Yeah.
So why do you exactly need this utilitarian perspective?
Well, I think the idea
so in other words, what I'm saying is that insofar as
shows...
well, hold on. Just let me finish this point. Like Applejack's knowledge of what is practical is surely shared by everybody else insofar as what practical clothing would be. Right.
Yeah.
So she has this perspective of practical, but she has no perspective of the artistic merit of the like what's a good word? Crazy expression of fashion. Yeah. So what exactly is the point of her inclusion then?
All right.
I don't get their reasoning at all.
No. I think the idea was because fashion kind of becomes like this absolutely crazy, ridiculous representation of like what rich and crazy people think clothes are supposed to look like. I think the idea was to kind of make it appeal to a slightly larger audience by having someone come in and be like, "That's insane. Let's not okay like that."
Sure, but was Rarity a judge?
Actually, now that you mention it, yeah.
So she was. So do you think that Rarity is incapable of discerning that?
There are times where, okay, as
I don't know, man.
There's been many times, you know, I have like I've like drawn like something where that isn't exactly functional, and other people have been like, hey, you know, that's not something that would work. Like for instance, I watched a Rock and Rule the other day, and the instruments that were drawn and animated in the series didn't make a whole lot of sense because the animators didn't have a lot of technical knowledge about instruments. So it's like, and like as a person who's into cars, there's lots of times I've seen like animators draw cars or draw other mechanical devices and have no idea what they're drawing. So they just kind of end up like, I saw a person draw a picture of a gun once that looked like a flare gun. It looked like some kind of weird thing, but because they didn't have any knowledge about weapons, they just drew a thing that kind of to them represented a gun.
Okay, but context matters, right? Yeah. So if like, okay, you look at Blastoise from Pokemon,
right?
The like the functionality and realism of his cannons is absurd. Yeah. Right? It makes no sense. But in the context of the world of Pokemon, it seems to blend sufficiently enough that doesn't really matter. Right? So now coming back to Pony.
Right.
The context of utility isn't really expressed outside of, well, we're just having a fashion show. Right, so how really important is it to get Applejack's perspective of clothing that would be useful insofar as like wearing in everyday life, right? Well, so what is the point here? Are they going to sell these dresses? Is that why? Like they're judging in a fashion show. So what does that matter exactly?
Well, right? I think the idea was, I think the idea was to. Jack is kind of a voice of the normal person in it, so to kind of present that they were supposed to be somewhat grounded in actual wearability rather than being all like
I don't know, like maybe that kind of makes sense, but then again it's like but it's still a fashion show, so what does that matter?
I didn't say it was a well-written episode.
yeah. This is what I'm getting at. What I'm kind of getting at is that it seems as though the conflict, like that they've conceptualized, which is that Rarity gets Applejack to be a judge, is purely in service. Like it how much sense it makes is, from what I can see, not a lot, and it's simply there to just get this conflict going, and that's maybe fine, but there are some weird things about it that don't really seem to make a lot of sense to me, and I don't see how that would actually occur. But like I think aside from that though, what happens is all right. And some people were complaining about like how mean Applejack was being, and like it seems to make sense to me though, because she literally doesn't get it, which even speaks to their stupidity even more, because like of course she doesn't fucking get it. How could you not see how she wouldn't get it? She has no interest in any of this shit. She doesn't see the artistic like purpose of fashion. All she sees it in is this utilitarian, like they're clothes, you just wear them and you work and shit, like that's that's it.
I do find it funny that she brought up like twice about like an extra hour of blank. It was like It was like the thing with the buttons where she's like, I see something that takes like an extra hour in the morning to take up to button it up, and then the next one where she's all like, well, Apple Bloom tried to make a hat the other day, just created an extra hour of work. Like, you're kind of stuck.
You know what else Owen pointed?
Applejack was obviously very autistic.
But like I guess you could say like her grabbing that hat. And like you could also argue that, well, surely Applejack is not stupid enough not to see how it's partly artistic expression. That's the point, right? Like surely the part of the point is this aesthetic, this visual flair, right? Surely, like it's not all about utilitarianism. Like, but here's the thing though that I think kind of defends it, is that throughout the episode, she's put in this position of like an authority, and she's and her opinions are listened to consistently and taken into account, and she kind of gets this power trip out of it a little bit, where she's like, like my opinions fucking matter, like I know a lot about this shit, so it kind of gets to her head a little, right? Well, and she kind of lets that take over a bit. So
there was an episode of King of the Hill where what was it? Hank Hill's wife like wrote a song, and he was like going on and on about how he didn't like it, and then like it was like because like to him, like for instance, Puff the Magic Dragon was a dumb song because it was about a dragon. He didn't get what the song was actually about.
Sure.
And I've grown up with a fair amount of rednecks when I was a kid, so. The concept of artistic expression in a world where everyone is like, you wake up, you milk the cows, you work the fields and things like that. The concept of artistic expression is like an alien concept. They have like no understanding of it sometimes.
Yeah, but surely, okay, but hold on. Like, I'm trying to think how exactly this is comparable. Like, surely Hank understands that is art, though, and while he doesn't like,
he didn't.
Well, no, I don't believe you. I'll have to watch the episode because like that seems like just terrible writing.
Well, there was like a point in the episode.
Like, hold on. Like the way you described it was he didn't like the song, right. But that's different than literally not understanding that.
Well, no. The thing is he explained the fact that he heard the song "Puff the Magic Dragon" and he said, "Oh, well, this is a stupid song because it's about a dragon." He got no context to what the song was about. He got no context about anything else. And the conflict of the episode was that his wife wrote a song about a turtle who was like trying to hide herself from society by like sinking into her shell. And he didn't understand the fact that the song was literally about the way his wife felt about him.
So he didn't get the metaphor, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But he knew it was art, though, right?
Well, he understood it was art, but he didn't understand what was artistic about it.
Right.
He didn't understand that it was supposed to be like he thought Puff the Magic Dragon was a stupid song because it was about a dragon. He didn't understand that the song was about growing up and having to let go of childish things. He was just like, "Oh, well, this is a dumb song because it's about a dragon," you know.
Right. Okay. I think I get what you're saying. Yeah. So what you're saying is that to bring it back to Pony is that while Applejack may be able to understand on some level that there's art, there's some kind of artistic merit here.
Yeah.
Like what she sees it as being so absurdly stupid at face value that doesn't matter.
Right.
In other words, I don't really give a shit. This is just so stupid that I can't even get behind this at all, right? Like I you know, and that kind of comes back to like the opinion thing where, you know, they do the strawberry scene, where, you know, some people just, you know, don't like something.
I think somebody should like make a video of like Sargon of Akkad and Anita photoshopped onto those two ponies.
That would be pretty cool.
Let's see here.
Yeah, because the episode's about the difference in values in terms of aesthetics.
Yeah.
And she just can't see that perspective. That's basically what the issue is. So
no, none of y'all have touched on the best part of this episode.
Oh.
Is it when Applejack ties up the ponies and they don't
no.
and they don't reveal it until they do the pan down? That's funny. I really like that.
It is no. It is.
See magic.
Oh yeah.
Fucking photo finish came back,
man. Yeah, dude.
Oh my god,
fantastic.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I've been waiting for photo finishes return for years. Literally years.
Oh, Corp, you didn't like how they didn't decide on a winner, I think.
Yeah, no, that was bullshit. That was that was complete and utter. Oh,
yeah, that was kind of something I wanted to touch on the first episode too. Is they came up with a solution without coming up with a solution. It's like, oh well, we all love each other. We can't possibly have a winner, so we all win. Lol. And
I don't even know if it was that though. It seems to me like.
I don't know.
Part of the point of it is like it's a contest, so there should be a winner. But I can also see how like they just all couldn't decide, so they were like, "Yeah, I guess they're all good. Fuck it, you know, like whatever. We liked them all. We just can't choose."
Well,
I don't know.
Because like remember with the first episode, there was like this big thing where it was like. She was supposed to come up with the decision of what to do with Starlight, and her decision was to kind of do nothing. And it's like, oh, well, okay.
Wait, how did she come to that decision again?
She just kind of didn't really. Well, she said that she graduated, and that's kind of, and like, yeah, and stuff. I don't know. It was
no, I don't know if that's comparable.
Well, anyway, my point is is it's one of those episodes.
Well, your point is that it feels special snowflakey.
Yeah.
It feels like a little bit
where it's like rather than coming up.
Here's
with
your
winner,
participation ribbon.
Yeah, everyone gets a participation ribbon.
I didn't really get that feeling, but I guess you could interpret it that way. Definitely, like you could say that maybe that's part of maybe maybe the creators, the authorial intent was we don't want to decide on a winner because that would be
that's the newest
more
thing
writing.
in child abuse child rearing these days is that kids can't have winners and losers and so that when they get in the real world where guess what, there are winners and losers, they have no idea how to handle themselves and they become these suicidal morons on the internet who complain that their lives are shit all the time and want to
well it was like that when I was in elementary school, like it was even like that where we would have track and field. And even if you didn't win, they gave you a participation ribbon, and it's like, what the fuck?
Best participant ever! Woo!
It's like I really hope I get a participation ribbon at work today. I hope they let me win just because I showed up.
It's
not gonna work.
It seems to me like if they would have decided on a winner, they would have had to do more writing. But then again, wouldn't that only be like a couple lines of dialogue? Surely it wouldn't be that much. I don't know. It is kind of weird, but I don't care. Fuck it. Who cares? The show is gay.
But just